When you gain confidence in these laws of the universe, you'll be joyful no matter where you stand in relationship to anything you want. So when we began here today, we asked the question, so what's this belief thing? I want it, but I don't believe it because I haven't yet seen it. So a logical person would say, well, if I haven't seen myself do it, but I need to believe I can do it in order to do it, doesn't it seem impossible? And we say, not when you believe in the laws of the universe, not when you understand law of attraction, not when you understand that you are non-physical energy first and foremost. You don't have to believe that you can accomplish that specific thing. You just have to believe that you can accomplish anything. You just have to understand that the universe has your back, that the law of attraction will yield to you the equivalent of what you're offering vibrationally. You just have to believe that your emotions never lie to you, that your emotions every time give you the feedback that lets you know whether you're in vibrational alignment with what you want or not. So over time, we've offered many different analogies, but our favorite one so far is this. So you are source energy, and a part of you comes forth into the physical, while the larger, far and away, the larger part of you remains eternally and non-physically focused, as source always does. Source, get it? Source. Some say, Abraham, why doesn't source come forth and be physical if source thinks we should like physical so much? And we say that's like asking the electricity in your wall to come forth and be the toaster. Sometimes the toaster is happy that there's electricity coming through the wall, you see. And so it's the same thing. Source is source, and you are an extension of source out here on the leading edge. So here you are out here on the leading edge as extension of source, exposing yourself to new ideas and launching constant new rockets of desire, which the source within you embraces and becomes the vibrational equivalent of immediately. And when that happens, there is a vibrational disparity between you and the physical and you and the non-physical. In other words, the non-physical you not only believes that this can be, but knows it. Not only believes and knows that it can be, but already is it. Already is it. It's already done, vibrationally speaking. When you ask, it's done. There's just one little thing you have to do as you are physically focused, and that is you have to become a vibrational match to what you're asking for. So over here, where who you really are is, and where the culmination of all of your rockets of desire are, and where the source within you in its expanded version because of you is, we're calling this the vortex of creation. It's the vortex. It's a vibrational reality. We talked earlier about how when you look at something that's already manifested in your reality, you say, well, I can believe that because I can see that. I believe my chair would hold me, and I believe the sun will come up in the morning because I've seen it enough that I believe it. There's a lot of things that I believe because I'm witnessing the manifestation of them. And we say, if you will decide today that you're not going to need to witness the manifestation of something before you believe it, you will become the creator who can create anything that you desire. And we want you to understand that it's easy to do because over here in your vibrational reality, by the way, this is the reality that precedes all manifested reality, so don't feel bad. Sometimes our physical friends think, oh, well, yeah, vibrational reality. I'm rich there. I'm skinny too. But what we want you to understand is the vibrational reality always precedes the reality. And if you have knowledge of the existence of this vibrational reality, if you know about this vortex, do you know what happens over here in this vortex of creation? Law of attraction is responding to the desire and causing a culmination, assembling all cooperative components. So everything that is necessary for the achievement of anything that you want has already been assembled. The question that we want to ask you is, are you a cooperative component? Or are you over here keeping alive a belief of doubt that contradicts what you're asking for? And the answer to the question, if you are feeling negative emotion, then you're keeping alive a vibration that contradicts it. Because if you're even hoping you're over here on the edge and the vortex is taking you in. In other words, this is a powerful vortex of attraction. And it will bring everything that matches it. But if you're over there beating the drum of why you want it, in other words, I want it because it's miserable not having it. I want it because I don't have it and I don't like not having it. As you beat that drum, you keep alive in yourself, active in your vibration, a frequency that prevents you from being brought in. If you could meditate, you'd stop your resistance and in you'd go. If you would appreciate, you'd stop your resistance and in you'd go. Even if you are in the attitude of hopefulness, in you'll go. But if you're mad, if you're ornery, if you're defeated, if you're fearful, if you're disappointed, if you're angry, if you're frustrated or overwhelmed, if you're feeling those emotions, and what are they? Those emotions don't just come out of thin air. Those emotions every single time are indicators of your vibrational relationship with who you have become. If life didn't cause you to become this more over here in the vortex, if your life hadn't caused the larger part of you to be there, you wouldn't feel bad not going. You could continue to focus upon unpleasant things. Problem with that is you were born knowing that you are worthy, and born knowing that you are good, and born knowing that life is supposed to be good for you. And when you first got here, you didn't have anything going on in your vibration that contradicted that. So you were tuned in most of the time, like the beasts of your planet are mostly in the vortex. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. You are getting the sense of law of attraction, yes? You get it, that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not. That there are all kinds of things that are true. That when you give your undivided attention to this truth, when you use truth or a lot of it going on as your prerequisite about whether you turn your attention to it, do you get it? That your attention to whatever it is activates it in your vibration and then gives you a measurement about whether you are looking at it as the way the source within you is or not. The art of allowing, which is what we are calling this Law of Attraction workshop, is about how to be in the state or how to practice the art of allowing myself to be who I really am. To allow myself to receive the fullness that life has brought me to allow myself alignment with source. That really is the ultimate being called home. In other words, we talked about how home in the physical sense sometimes can make you feel less good than you felt before you went there. And of course it's not always the case, but mostly. But when you are called home to the source that is within you, it is always a clicking into place. It's always a feeling of relief. It's always a, yes, this is who I've become, and nothing less than this will do for me. So this law of attraction that you are hearing about and that you are beginning to notice in your experience all day, every day, says that whatever you've got active in your vibration is going to start pulling. But what people commonly misunderstand about law of attraction is that law of attraction is responding to all vibrations in the universe. It's what sorts out the vibrations. It's what makes your radio signals connect with each other in the way that they do. Although law of attraction, as it relates to you, is even far more sophisticated than that. So what we're saying to you is, you've got this vibration going on as you beat the drum of whatever you're giving your attention to now in your body. And you've got this vibration going on of who you really are, who the source within you, what your inner being is now thinking about. And what your inner being is thinking about is all that you've asked to be. So as law of attraction responds to both of those vibrational viewpoints, there is the potential of you being pulled apart if you're not in sync. You see how your guidance system works? The source within you has an opinion about everything. And when you deviate from that opinion, you feel discord. For example, source adores you. And when you're hard on your own case, you cause discord that you call guilt or self-blame or self-depreciation. In other words, when you are focused upon yourself in a negative way, you are performing the ultimate separation of self. That's why it feels so awful. When someone else holds you as their object of attention and they find fault with you, the reason that you often feel such defensiveness is as they turn their negative attention toward you, you turn your negative attention either toward yourself or toward them. And now you're using this experience as your excuse to not see this world through the eyes of Source. And when you don't, you feel crummy every single time. It doesn't matter how valid your argument is against anything. When you push against unwanted things, you activate unwanted things in your vibration and they clash with your wanted things. This is a universe that's based upon law of attraction. It's an inclusion-based universe, which means you can't exclude anything. You cannot push anything away in an inclusion-based universe. So when you see that thing you don't want and you shout no at it, it's exactly the same thing as saying, yes, thing I do not want, come to me. When you see something you want and you say yes to it, it's like saying, come to me, this thing I want. So when you realize that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not, then you begin to set forth a different criteria about whether you give your attention to it. And that really is what Art of Allowing is. Art of Allowing is accepting that you are source energy at the same time that you are physical. Do you? Art of Allowing is acknowledging that that larger non-physical part of you is pulsing with the fullness of all that you have become and is holding this position of the best that you are. And it's not just the best that you are, it is the culmination of all that is. In other words, that which you are reaching for is harmony with the best synthesis of life that has been. Source, or what man often wants to call God, is in an eternal state of appreciation or becoming. And when you get into the flow of that, when you consciously turn your attention toward that beingness, and you care about your alignment with it, now your path is never confused. You never wonder what to do. You just know. You just know the thread to follow is the thread that feels good, not the thread that's written down, not the thread that's most popular, not the thread that's on CNN, not the thread that your family is speaking to you, not the thread that's on the online chat group necessarily. In other words, the thread that you're wanting to follow is the thread that feels like it has the most life in it. The thread that feels the friskiest, the thread that feels the happiest, the thread that feels the most interesting, the thread that feels the most exhilarating, the thread that feels the most life-giving. You know those people that when you're with them, they just breathe life into you? They're just tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and when you interact with them, you feel better for your interaction. That's the thread you want to follow. Good. We are eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. Nothing is off limits. It will all unfold perfectly. Our desire as we chat with you from the hot seat is to prepare and shine a spotlight on a more obvious path for the purpose of luring you into alignment with who you are. And we are going to refer to this place that we are luring you as the vortex of that which is really you. It is the vibrational reality that exists before any physical reality ever comes about. It is the reality that is the preface or the pre-paving of everything that you know. It is a reality that you can take to the bank. We are not kidding you. It is a reality that is real. It is a reality that you can feel with your enthusiasm and your love, but you may not necessarily be able to see it unless you are in it. If you are on the verge of it, as in a hopeful attitude, then it will draw you in often and you'll have full view of what's in there. If you're ornery, if you're depressed, if you are in despair, if you are feeling out of control of your life or disempowered, then you're not in the vicinity of this vortex that contains the larger part of you and everything that you want, and all cooperative components of everything that you have been asking for. Those are our favorite new words. Your vortex contains all cooperative components of everything that you are asking for. But you've got to be in the vortex before you can see or rendezvous with the cooperative components. They're already in there. And we don't want to hurt your feelings, but we want you to know that often you are the only uncooperative component. And the reason that you're the uncooperative component is because you're still in step one. You're saying, where is it? I want it. I don't see it. Where is it?